This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1002, and it's a Relevant Podcast. Here in Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, speaker, and podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, and mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
We are 2 for 2 in the new era with the entire cast being here. No
so
substitutes.
I gotta be honest. 1002 is probably the most anticlimactic episode number possible. Because 99, you're getting there. We're a week away. 1,000, it's a big milestone. 101, it's like new era. Here we are. Then it's like 1002. It's like it's going to be kind of the same thing, isn't it? The second 1,000 is going to be roughly like the first 1,000. It's just an I believe in the product. I'm just saying from a number perspective.
It's like turning 23 or something. It's like nothing happens.
31. Yeah, it's like we'll talk in 9 years or at least 35.
Yeah. All right. We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, author Jon Acuff joins us. Jon has been a longtime friend of the show. And in fact, in the afterglow of the 1,000th episode and us having to kind of go back in the archives and relive so many memories, there was an era that we did the Oscars.biz awards every year, where it was just Jesse randomly awarding things that popped into his head. And we made it big fanfare. It was very formal, orchestras, in memoriam segments. It was sponsored by the Home Depot. Not really, but and we had a guest host one year. It was Jon Acuff. And so Jon's gone way back.
He hasn't come on back.
No, he hasn't. I don't think he has. So it's the big comeback tour.
My dream for the Oscars.biz was just to find the cheapest billboard in any town in America and just buy the billboard. And it would have a top hat with a cane leaning up against it. And it says entertainment's biggest night. And it would just say Oscars.biz with no instructions and just to see if it would get some press. So, Jon, if you want to flip the bill for that, we can still make that dream come alive.
I designed all those ridiculous graphics because I didn't want to waste our actual professional designers' time on this stupid joke that we had. So, I remember doing the episode graphics, I would do the most scripty gold fonts with a glow effect. And I would put Jon Acuff's head with a top hat on it and stuff for the episode. It was really... Yeah, over the top. Anyway, so Jon's coming up. It has nothing to do with our award show, and we aren't going to probably relive old memories. He has a new book out. Also, we have a special game, the mystery mascot game. College football's back, and so we're going to the archives. We're bringing back our football mascot game. That's going to be a lot of fun, and we are going to tell you all about the brand new issue of Relevant. It's a huge issue. MIA is on the cover. We sat down with her for a long conversation about her crazy story of becoming a Christian over the last few years. You do not want to miss that article. Tyler and Emily will join us, and we'll tell you all about the brand new issue coming up later as well. So, all right. Well, we got a lot to get to, so let's get the show going. Stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
Hey! Do you think about me when you take my ride? Me empty inside. Do you think about me when you keep me on hush? Looking out for your eyes. The air is fresh outside. I'm free to vocalize. No longer holding on so tight. And I can dance till I want. And I keep moving up till I can see you deep inside my rearview mirror.
You're listening to Big Wild. The song is Waiting Outside. Waiting outside sounds ominous.
For what? Where?
There's just a person.
I'm scared right now. I ain't gonna even lie.
Yeah.
I like waiting outside. If you give me the choice, I'm just saying, let's say I'm at the DMV, okay?
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, you can wait in here or you can wait outside. I'm like, well, I'm definitely going to wait outside. Post-COVID.
You clearly don't live in Florida because we're going to wait in the AC.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
Or Nashville.
They're saying pleasant day. I can check my text. I'm not all worried still about COVID-y stuff. I'm just out there in the parking lot. Maybe I'll bring football and find someone to toss it with out there. You get new plates? Oh, cool. It's going to be a while. Here, go. I want you to do a little button hook. I'm going to get you. Just trust me. I'm going to throw to the spot, not to you. Just get there. All right?
Well, today's show is brought to you by He Gets Us, a national campaign sharing a fresh perspective on the story of Jesus. Why? Because the story of Jesus has been obscured. His name's been used to harm and to heal, to unite and to divide. But how Jesus actually lived is not at all convoluted. He loved radically. He suffered deeply. He always put others first. And He Gets Us is telling that story to anyone who will listen. Now, as Christian leaders, you know that story and you know how powerful it is. You also know how it can be hard to tell it in a way that gets people's attention. This campaign has developed a platform to do just that, to share the story of Jesus on national television and on individual phone screens, and it's working. They've had over 315 million views on YouTube alone, not to mention Facebook, Instagram, and of course, broadcast networks. And it's only the start. Visit HeGetsUsPartners.com to learn more. There's great resources, and there might be even some small group studies done by, Relevant Magazine. Check it out, HeGetsUsPartners.com. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, this is an interesting trend here. This comes from a site called, I love these like random sites that will commission a study just to get publicity on podcasts like this. So to organicbabyformula.com. I thank you for the content. And I thank you for taking the time to look at the popularity of Disney, of baby names based on Disney characters. Most of them are what you think. They look at, the up and down rise of popularity in baby names that are based on popular, not just like Disney movies, but within the whole, like the MCU, the whole Disney umbrella. Basically, if you find it on Disney Plus, how popular they're getting. The biggest rise in the most popular name based on a Disney or Marvel character. Can anyone venture a guess?
I read it, so I can't play.
Yeah, I read it too. I'm not gonna spoil the fun.
Cameron
hasn't seen it.
Actually, Cameron has seen the article because we published it at relevantmags.com, and I pay attention to our content outflow, so I know the answer here. So you're preaching to the choir, buddy. Tell the listeners who don't follow us on all the socials what the answer is.
The most popular right now is Quill, which is Star-Lord's name, Chris Pratt. I feel like he's a pretty likable guy. Not surprising you would go with Quill. It's a little bit of an edge. It's cool. It's unique. That's followed by Kristoff from Frozen, Rey from the Star Wars universe.
That's dope.
You see a lot that you wouldn't all that surprise you. Then you come to number 9. Okay, and just for context, this is above Ariel. This is above Elsa. This is above, Loki and Finn. Like, some cool names out there.
Finn is dope. Dang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Number 9, Thanos. Who is naming
Harbinger of Death?
Destroyer of universes. Like,
that kid is destined to become like one of those goth kids wearing all black with the eyeliner.
It's either that or a linebacker.
No, he's gonna go by his middle name. Like that's what's gonna be. He's gonna go by Lawrence.
Yeah,
like because his middle name is like Thanos
Lawrence.
Like that's.
LT.
Yeah. But if you were like the Baltimore Ravens, have you heard about their new linebacker Thanos Jones? It's like, oh my gosh, stay away.
That kid has to be 350 pounds, 6'4". There's no other destiny for him other than being massive.
But the funny thing is, he's going to be just a little kind of dorky little math guy solving all the problems at a big corporation. Yeah.
He becomes an engineer at Microsoft named Thanos.
that will make all of the conspiracies about big tech. Their chief engineer is named Thanos, the one who intentionally wanted to kill half of humanity. Yeah. So I would just say use a little discretion, parents. I think Quill is a pretty cool name.
Quill is cool.
Thanos,
not so much.
I don't know what kind of message you're sending with Thanos.
It's interesting how name trends go. Like over, 10 years ago, it was just like a bunch of random like Finn or whatever. And now it's like people are going after movie names and it's, it's interesting. Yeah. There's no Margarets anymore,
It'll come back.
Yeah. All right. What do you have, Jamie?
All right. I have a question for you guys. I would love to know what your major was in college. Cameron, you go first.
Mass media communications with a journalism emphasis, business minor. It's exactly what I do for my career.
Wow. Okay, Jesse.
Well, it's the same without the minor. I don't believe in minors. I believe
Whoa, relax.
You major only.
No, you gotta believe in minors.
Derek Minor. He doesn't believe in minors.
Derek, I've been meaning to say, I really think it would do you well to change your name to Derek Major.
I've been working on it.
Derek, what was your major?
My major
college?
was recording industry management, emphasis on the business side.
You guys are all doing what you
That's crazy.
What you started with.
Did y'all change your majors to like get to what you're doing? Because I came in like college weekend with my major in mind and finished with that major, which is not what my friends did. My friends changed their major like 3 times.
I graduated with a degree in kinesiology. I was a coach and speech communication. So there's that. But there's a new study out saying right now, according to Federal Reserve survey, it found that a lot of Americans wish they would have studied something different in college. In fact, 2 out of 5 people regret their major in college. And I just think that, and I've thought this for a while, that it is a lot to ask. I mean, this doesn't go well since you all 3 are proving my point exactly wrong. But in my personal opinion, I've had a lot of contact with people who it is just so hard going in as an 18-year-old to try and decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. And this study is saying that a lot of people regret their majors. Now, there's a couple of things here is that income matters. So if you're making a lot of money, you're less likely to regret your major, right? I mean, that's just the opposite.
It worked out for you. Yeah,
it worked out for you. Yeah. But a lot of people, the people with the most regrets are those arts and humanities majors. It says nearly half of whom said they wish they'd picked something different. So it's just interesting as people thinking about going into college. I mean, I have a son who's this age. I've got 2 more coming up right behind him. And I tell my kids, look, get in there, pick something, but don't be afraid to change it like halfway through, like, because you're so young to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life, except for you 3 who knew exactly what you wanted to do for the rest of your lives.
My one piece of advice for anybody thinking about their major is no matter what, I don't care if you want to go into engineering or the arts or whatever, get some business as well.
True.
Like, get training in finance, get training in marketing, get training in how to run something. Because no matter, you're going to work for either you're going to work for a company that does the thing, or you're going to do it yourself. And either way, you need to have that business experience and teaching. So no matter what, minor in don't listen to Jesse. Minor in business at the even if you're going to the ministry. I mean, running a church is like a business.
I say that to my son. You know, he wants to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, awesome. But I think do exactly what you said. Also get some business under you.
Yeah,
Totally
for
agree.
Sure.
Well, I took a badminton class in college, and
I did
let
too.
me just say this:
I did too.
I can dominate a barbecue right now. Which
See,
you
that's
tell
a
me
life skill. That's
exactly.
college life skills right there.
We went to a college that required that you take a physical education course every semester. And so Jesse
Every
took
semester?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Damn, that's rough.
spirit, mind, and body. That was kind of their mantra. Is like it's a Christian campus, and the mind, obviously academics, and then body. Physical education was part of it.
That's exactly. I'm like, you're paying a lot of money to play badminton twice a week.
Yeah, I mean, I literally took a mountain biking class, and it was totally the honor system because, I mean, what is the professor going to follow you around on the trail? Let me tell you the answer. Nope.
All right, what do you have, Derek?
All right, so in Japan, there has been a concern about a ninja bear. Do you understand what I'm saying?
BEAR?
BEAR. That's attacking dairy
yeah, that's
farms.
different than a BARE ninja. But
yeah, we don't butt naked ninja.
I would say that calls for concern across the Atlantic as well.
Nah, but no, there's this bear that is extremely stealthy, and they can't find out how he's attacking these dairy farms and getting what he wants. So it's a ninja bear on the loose. So just letting y'all know.
He's killing a bunch of cows?
He's killing whatever he wants.
Wow.
Why are they calling it a ninja bear and not just a bear?
Because he's sneaky.
He's stealthy.
Yeah,
he's sneaky.
you can't find him.
They're
like
trying to figure out how he's getting in and out of these dairy farms. You know what I'm saying? Because they have him walled off, and this man is, I don't know if he's doing backflips over fences or whatever, but yeah.
It's like maybe it is Tom Cruise in a bear suit, honestly. If Impossible style.
You know, like if we didn't have security cameras, every crime or of theft would be a ninja thief because we didn't see what they did or how they did it. Just put a security camera at the dairy farm and the mystery solved.
That's the thing. He's avoiding the traps. He's avoiding security cameras, and he's suspected of 60 attacks, but he's only been caught on film twice.
Sounds like an inside job.
Only spotted in person
Sounds like an
once.
inside job.
Sounds exactly like an inside job.
Yeah.
But
he's got a bear on the inside.
no, somebody that is frustrated at their job, and they're over here like, you know
blaming
what?
a bear.
Yeah. Ironically, all of these bear attacks started right after they hired that new bear to work in the HR office. There's it's been hard to find quality people. They hired a bear, and
I was thinking it was a Scooby-Doo situation. The manager gets his, the mask pulled off, and it's really been a bear the whole time or something. It's like Scooby-Doo. All right.
All right, watch out, our friends in Japan.
All right, Japan, with your stealth bears.
Last thing I need is a ninja bear.
Or a bear ninja. Either way, we don't want either of them. All right.
Imagine getting whooped by somebody butt naked with a ninja star, bro. Just somebody just flipping and just hit you with a ninja star. That would be crazy. Just butt naked.
Yeah, bear ninjas. All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Tyler and Emily join us to tell you all about the exciting new issue of Relevant.
Got a ticket for the city that's fire. Tech 9 for the side that fire. At a protest like, come on and try it. Put your picket down, come on and riot. Down rough there, over in the east side. Got a plane like, I'ma let the travel slide. Done stepped it over to the west side. Paperwork, yeah, I'ma get it certified. Head for the gate, out in the tape. I'm the thing the sons imitate. You can't stop the fate, stop the wait, lock away. Deny the debate, relevant to the day. When you're trying to find the one, why do you need reminding? No matter how you look at it, it's me you keep finding. Trying to find the one, what you're seeking ain't hiding. Trying to find the one, it's me you keep finding. Why you looking for the one?
You're listening to MIA. The song is 123. All right. Well, 4 times a year, we put out a copy of Relevant Magazine in digital form. We've had the pleasure of having sponsors for it to provide it for free on our website each time. And then we also create an enhanced ad-free edition for Relevant Plus subscribers. It is beautiful. Our fall issue releases this week. Coming onto the show to tell us all about it is our senior editor, Tyler Huckabee, and our associate editor downtown, Emily Brown. Hey, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, y'all.
Bonjour.
Okay, so this is a fun one because we've been working on this cover story for quite a while.
Oh my gosh.
We cover life, we cover justice and all this kind of stuff, but we are known for covering the intersection of faith and culture. And sometimes it's like pulling teeth to extract redemptive narratives and deeper conversation out of some of our culture coverage.
It's true.
And every once in a while, and I'm talking like once a decade, somebody who is highly influential in the mainstream space like comes to faith or wants to talk more openly about their faith, and they reach out to us and they're like, I want to talk to Relevant. I want to tell Relevant a story I've never told anybody else. I remember Mickey Rourke did that back when The Wrestler came out. Mm-hmm. It's happened a few times over the years, and we just get surprised. Our very first major celebrity sit down at their home with a photo shoot that went deep was Moby.
That's right.
Back in 2004, because Moby saw the brand new magazine Relevant on the newsstands in New York, dug what we were about, and reached out to us because he wanted to talk about Jesus. He wanted to talk about how he was addicted to porn and loved Jesus. And so anyway, that's when it all started for us, was because of Moby. And every once in a while, an artist will reach out. And that's kind of what happened here. It hit the news. It caught our eye that one of our favorite artists over the last 20 years, MIA, started talking about a conversion experience and coming to become a Christian. And we sat down with her for over an hour, getting more into that story, and that's our cover story in fall.
Yeah, and this is one that I really wanted this story just because I was really interested in MIA. She's a fascinating artist for a number of reasons. If you followed her career, you're aware of all of her activities as an activist and as a writer, as a very political person. So this is not a conversion experience that I saw coming, and it was not a conversion experience that she saw coming either. She opens up a lot about her kind of disinterest and even some of her antagonism towards Christianity through most of her life, and what changed for her. It is a really wild story, and it's one of those stories that makes me feel just really honored. I don't take it for granted that we get to share these very intimate details of these people's lives, and I appreciate her being willing to trust us with it. And I think that if you dig into it, I think you'll find it as fascinating as I did.
I've been a big fan since Paper Planes. Let's play a clip. Here's MIA.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper, get high like
on the other side of the spectrum, we like to keep you guessing. We are very intentional about this lineup and how we piece ideas and pieces together. Now, when we had the monthly paper edition of the magazine, the whole idea was you pick up the issue because of a story that caught your eye on the cover, and then you flip the page to something unexpected, and we got you. And it's a little tougher to do in the web era. We can do it in the tablet edition. That's really just very scrollable. But on the other end of the spectrum, if you want something from one of the heroes of the faith, we have N.T. Wright in the issue talking kind of taking us to school about the Bible and what the Bible's all about.
Mm-hmm. This was motivated by podcast listeners might remember this a few months ago when we discussed this new study that shows that a record low of Americans say the Bible is the literal word of God. And that just got me thinking a little bit about what is the Bible and what is the purpose of the Bible? How should we think about the Bible? Obviously, very few people more qualified to talk about the answer to that question than Dr. N.T. Wright. And so I appreciated him being willing to open up to us about it, a little bit of a history lesson, a little bit of a Bible study lesson, and sort of a forecasting lesson too for how he hopes generations think about the Bible now and in the future here.
Speaking about deeper faith and going deeper, we've talked on this show a little bit over the recent years about how a lot of the worship music that's starting to come out is a little bit more me-centered and a little bit more surfacey, a little bit more hypey, and we're missing the stuff that like gets into the nitty-gritty with God, And so we talked to Chris Brown, not that one. We talked to Chris Brown, and this is the guy from Elevation Worship.
He's such a nice dude too. He's like the coolest dude.
It's so sweet.
Hey, listen, we've said it on the show. We love Chris. But if I was his advisor, I would tell him to pull that middle initial, pull a Michael K. Jordan for us.
Christopher Brown. Even that.
Go to Christopher Brown. Yeah. You're a musician. Anyway, we talked to Chris Brown about Elevation Worship and kind of what they're doing and the shift that they're doing to kind of help push worship music to new depths.
Yeah, it was fun to talk with him and just kind of pick his brain about the creative process and just see where they want to take Elevation, where they want worship music to go. We talked about how they've been working with Stephen Furtick to make sure that, their music is not about them, but it is about the gospel. It's about God. And I think we've seen that over the years. Like it's really strengthened. And so, and they're even talking about what they're going to do next and how they're going to keep challenging themselves. So it was a great conversation. I had a fun time.
Speaking of Brown, who got the memo about the middle initial, we talked to Sterling K. Brown, actor that we all know from This Is Us and a bunch of other stuff. He's also in the brand new movie that just came out a few days ago, Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. It's in theaters now, and it just started streaming on Peacock as well.
Yeah, so we got to talk to Sterling K. Brown and also Regina Hall. She was a fun addition. But about the film, and it's a very interesting film.
With Sterling talking to us, and then she was just walking by and was like, "Who are you talking to? Relevant? Oh my goodness!" And just sat down and joined it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Dad sees you talking to mom on the FaceTime, and he's like, "Hey, look who it is."
She leans over his shoulder to get in the FaceTime. Yeah.
No, but it was so good to talk with him because the film is about really the other side of church scandal. We hear about it when it happens, what happens in the fallout, and that's what the film's about. And they did a really wonderful job, and it was a really great conversation. So,
and they both grew up church, right? Like this
they
came
both
from
grew up in the church.
Isn't that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So they, we talked about what their church experience was like and why they wanted to be part of this film. And what was really beautiful is they both love the church. They don't want to make fun of the church. They want it to be better. And I think they did a great job with that.
Whenever I see a comedy that is poking fun of church culture, there's a big difference whether or not the call is coming from inside the building or outside the building. You know what I'm saying?
You can tell in 10 minutes. It's pretty obvious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. We also talk, we always talk about life issues and different things that, our audience cares about. And one of the things that we've been noticing statistically is the trend that Gen Z is seeing a big rise in eating disorders. And it's something that we need to be talking about.
Yeah, this is something that started to really, the eating disorders have been on the rise for the past decade, have really been going up. People have been experiencing eating disorders younger. More men are dealing with eating disorders. And then these really ballooned during the pandemic, which is when there was an explosion of eating disorders among young people, especially among Gen Z. And that hasn't gone away even as COVID has subsided a little bit. So this is this piece is really us figuring out what happened there, what is causing this rise, and what can we do about it? What can we do about not only the systemic issues, but also people we care about, our friends who we think might be wrestling with their relationship with food, and how we can get involved in a way that is actually helpful instead of judgmental.
Perfect. We also have a piece written by author and pastor Stephen Chandler, really talking about this season of life, about, kind of tangibly walking in wisdom and as you take leaps of faith, whether it's career, relationships, big life changes, which is happening all the time.
Yeah, I think that's why the piece really jumped out to me when I was reading it. Is coming off of COVID, I know a lot of people are weighing big decisions professionally, personally, relationally, and I know a lot of times we hear a lot of encouragement about taking a leap of faith, especially as believers. And he talks about how to take those leaps of faith and make sure we're doing it from a place of wisdom that is also from God. Super helpful balance, super important nuance to get. Glad he was able to. I love Stephen Chandler. I was really glad that we were able to publish this piece from him.
On the music side, one of our favorite indie pop bands right now, exploding right now, is Dayglow. Here's a bit of their new single.
Had a super good chat with admitted relevant fan Dayglow. His name is Sloan Dayglow.
We like him.
Yeah, we're a fan. That doesn't necessarily mean that if you're going to get in Relevant magazine just because you're a fan, but it doesn't. I had no idea. I was just talking to this guy, and at the end he was like, "When I heard it was Relevant, I was super excited. I grew up reading you guys." So
that's kind of like Regina Hall walking by, oh,
exactly.
Relevant.
The Relevant magazine.
Also, we talk about, this is crazy, we are behind the scenes on the most expensive TV show ever made, The Rings of Power, which is part of the Lord of the Rings saga. Tyler talked to the cast of the new series, which is just now debuting on Amazon, about, how true did they stay to Tolkien's faith adjacent journey.
Yeah. I think that was at least the concern that I had. A lot of people who really care about Tolkien had is obviously they've got the money to pull something like this off, but do they have the passion? Do they have the understanding of Tolkien's spiritual and moral universe? And I've seen a couple episodes, and I was able to talk to the cast about it a lot, get their insights on it. And I won't tell anybody how to think. You can read the actual piece to find out more about that. But
the piece will tell you how to think.
The answers are in the answers you're looking for are in the piece.
Obviously, one of the major news stories right now is this year is the Roe v. Wade decision getting overturned, and really the tangible and practical effects it's going to have moving forward, the shifts in our society. One of those things is the thousands and thousands of new children that will be entering the kind of foster care system and orphanages being up for adoption. So we have a piece looking at the new pro-life, kind of post Roe v. Wade. What does the church need to do tangibly to take on this new era that we're walking into, specifically as it relates to adoption?
Yeah, it was a really interesting piece to study because really before COVID, especially, adoption was actually, or the number of kids in the foster care system were actually declining, and because of just expanded welfare and just a lot of different policies being passed. But a lot of experts are expecting around 10,000 babies annually will now be entering the system because of the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. And that is something that the church absolutely needs to not only be aware of, but be ready for, and just be ready to take action. So that's what the piece kind of dives into some more.
All right, church, get involved. And last but not least, we talked to one of our favorite indie electronica artists, Tycho. Here's a clip. don't want to miss this one. It's just so much going on. Packed issue, the MIA story, the most expensive TV show of all time, some amazing think pieces, incredible faith leaders. And it just released earlier this week at relevantmagazine.com. The free version is presented by our friends at He Gets Us. Many thanks to them for sponsoring the issue and making it available to you all for free. Go check it out by clicking the magazine tab. All the stories are right there. You can engage them, share them. It's an awesome experience. If you want to have a beautiful, basically like print design, enhanced digital media version, beautifully designed for tablets and desktop, make sure to sign up for Relevant Plus. It is available now ad-free to Relevant Plus subscribers. If you are a Relevant Plus subscriber, it's available in your dashboard now, or you should have gotten an email from us a couple days ago with a link to grab the new issue. And if you haven't signed up for Relevant Plus, you should. You'll get the new issue right away, and plans start as low as $250 a month. Okay. Love it. Thanks, guys. Great job. Stay tuned. Up next, Jon Acuff joins us. You're listening to Sure Sure. The song is 1, 2, 3. Man, they phoned that one in. Their band name is Sure Sure, and their song is 1, 2, 3. Come on.
See, like I told you, man, white people had the best band names, bro. They was just like, what should we name the band? Sure.
Sure.
The label texted him like, hey, have y'all picked out your band name? And he's like, yeah, sure, sure. And,
and it's like, oh, there it is. Sure,
hold on. Is it sure ? Sure? Like sure?
No.
Are you sure? Sure.
The same word back to back. Sure, sure.
So what's the name of the song?
1, 2, 3.
It's like 1, 2, 3. That's what we'll start doing.
Well, our guest today is Jon Acuff. He's a speaker and author of Stuff Christians Like, Do Over, and the Soundtrack of Your Life. He sat down with our very own downtown Emily Brown to share how we can reshape our thought life, empower our decision-making skills, and encourage others to stop listening to lies. Here's our conversation with Jon Acuff.
I am very excited to talk to you about your book, which is Soundtracks, but for teens.
Yeah, it's called Your New Playlist, but it's Soundtracks for Teens is kind of the shorthand I think about it.
Maybe let's start with what exactly do you mean by soundtrack? Because I think some people use that word a little differently.
Yeah, so I've heard people say that a thought is like a leaf on a river or a car on the highway or a cloud in the sky. But for me, I've always thought of it as a soundtrack because a soundtrack has the power to change the entire moment, and often we don't even notice it. So think about a movie that opens up and it's a beautiful house, white picket fence, kids frolicking. But then if they change the soundtrack to something ominous, suddenly you go, don't go in there. It's quiet. It's too quiet. It could be a creepy clown in the sewer. If they play a happy song, then it becomes a rom-com. And so when I say soundtrack, that's my phrase for a repetitive thought. And the idea being that the longer you listen to a thought, the more it gets added to your personal playlist. So you have a soundtrack for every job you've ever had, for every relationship, for every city, for every house. You have soundtracks for your life. And there are these thoughts that we listen to again and again and again. That's what I mean by a soundtrack.
I think that's such a difficult thing to not only recognize those soundtracks that kids are hearing, but also replace them. So how can someone kind of help a teenager or just or anyone really, like how can they help encourage them to seek out good soundtracks?
Part of it is helping them recognize the broken soundtrack. So a really easy exercise that you can do with any teenager is to say, hey, write down a goal. And it can be any goal. It can be, I get asked to the prom. It can be, I graduate. I get a C in geometry because it's killing me. It can be, I feel comfortable in the cafeteria. Write down a goal and then listen to your first thoughts. What are the first thoughts after you write that down? And are they positive? Are they, are you telling yourself you should do that? You'd be great at that. Like, you're going to make the soccer team. They're going to be, or are they negative? Are they the reverse? Are they saying, who are you to do that? Why do you think you can do that? You'll fail just like last time. They're only being nice to you, to your face. They really don't like you. Like, listen to that. So what I tell teenagers is listen to your reaction, because every reaction is an education. And so that's a really simple, again, 30-second activity where you can go, okay, when you think about your goals, what do you think about yourself? Because that's what we're saying. And then once they've said it out loud or once they've written it down, they can go, wait a second. If I had a friend that talked to me that way, I wouldn't want to be their friend. So why am I essentially, like, when you're a jerk to yourself, you spend all day with a jerk. And you go, wait a second, why am I accepting that? And who told me it has to be that way? So then that's the first part. So the book is really, it breaks it down in 3 ways. You retire your broken soundtracks, you replace them with new ones, and then you repeat the new ones so often they become as automatic as the old ones. So then once you've identified it, then you can start to go, okay, what part of my life do I need a new soundtrack? Like, can I switch? I'll never be good at pre-calculus to I can get better at pre-calculus. There's often, especially for teenagers, if you hear absolutes, it means there's a broken soundtrack. I'll never get better at geometry. Everyone else but me got invited to the party. I'm the only one who doesn't have the new iPhone. And you start to go, wait a second, never, everyone, only. Those might not be true words. What can we do to replace them with something that is true, that does encourage you?
And I love that you're talking about it in like a proactive way instead of a retroactive way, because I think that can be really difficult too, is recognizing things that are going to affect you rather than letting them affect you and then trying to kind of fix it afterwards.
Yeah. So it's like you have the problem once. Like, if you know, wow, spring break, I was frustrated at my friends. Guess what's happening next year? Like, spring break. Mm-hmm. So write yourself a little note. Like, you don't have to try to remember it, but write yourself a little note and go, okay, next spring break, I need to remember that. Like, that was troubling for me. That was challenging for me. And part of this is teaching teenagers to have self-awareness and be aware of how they work and why they work. And so that they can kind of go, oh yeah, that was challenging. I'm going to try that a little differently next time. Or like, oh yeah, that hurt my feelings. Like, why did it hurt my feelings? What can I do about it differently next time? How can I take some power in this situation versus getting hurt by the situation if I know it's good? And adults need that lesson too. Like, there's plenty of things I've learned again and again and again, and I figured out on the 10th time. But like, hopefully by the time I figure it out, there's not 10 more times when it happens. I get to go, oh yeah, that's bad. That's bad for me. Like, I should not do that. And so I think sometimes we forget that self-awareness is a real superpower.
Yeah, like self-awareness and self-reflection. I think those are, I think some people can get really nervous and scared about self-reflecting as well, because they're afraid of what they'll find out. But yeah, exactly. So what are maybe like some, like, I feel like I've noticed like self-reflection does not have to be this kind of big taxing journey. It can be just kind of like a daily practice. So what are some ways that like maybe someone can practice just daily self-awareness or self-reflection?
Yeah, so you're right. It doesn't have to be this long vision quest. It doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, it can be as simple as a handful of questions. You ask 3 questions. Is it true? Is the thing I'm telling myself about myself true? The second question is it helpful? Because there's some things in life that are true, but they're not helpful. It might be true you got a 52 on your last history test, but is telling yourself that again and again and again before the next test helpful? Of course not. And if you had a friend that texted you 100 times the night before the test and said, don't forget you got a 52 in the last one, don't forget you got a 52 in the last one, you would think this friend's a monster. Who's reminding me 100 times before the next test about the last test? But that's what you're doing to yourself. So the second question is it helpful, this thought? And the third question is it kind? When I say this to myself again and again and again, is it kind? So is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Those will give you just the briefest moment of self-reflection. I mean, those aren't long questions. They're not complicated, but they will pause you long enough to go, wait a second, that thing isn't true. Like, is it true that this always happens? No, this doesn't always happen. It sometimes happens. Wait a second. Or is it helpful? Wait a second. This isn't helpful to me. Or is it kind? So often just asking those 3 questions will pause you long enough to have a bit of self-reflection.
That was Jon Acuff. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's our game, Mystery Mascot.
God knows what you see. This fish out of water is out of context. Stop looking at me. I know what you mean by your comments. I'm just out of context.
You're listening to Devin. The song is Out of Context. That's the name of the song. It's not that the song is out of context. The name, out of context.
It's like a really funny song that they play at like a funeral. It's really
Out of context.
Out of context. All caps. All caps. Out of context. So there you go. Okay, it is time for a classic game. It's called
Mystery Mascot.
the feel of the old pigskin, the sound of the crowd cheering, the thrill of the game. College football is a celebration of tradition. While the two teams battle it out for gridiron glory, it's truly the things they share that unites them beyond the competition. And one thing every college football team has in common is some sort of insane mascot. Sometimes there's a gulf between the team name and the mascot on the field. In this game, you will be given the name of a college football team and their mascot, and you must describe the mascot to the best of your ability, the actual costume that the person wears on the field, okay? You'll get 3 points if you can describe it perfectly, 2 points if you get close, and 1 point if you're in the right ballpark, and no points if you're totally wrong. I have the pictures in front of me. I will listen to your descriptions and award points accordingly, and then in our group text, I will send you the pictures afterwards so you guys can see exactly it.
Okay,
All right?
I love it.
All right, Jesse, you're up first. These are the real mascots of these schools. The University of California at Santa Cruz, Banana Slugs. Describe the actual mascot of the University of California at Santa Cruz, Banana Slugs.
I'm gonna say it is a banana, like a peel, but it has a snail shell for some reason. And where's this school located?
Santa Cruz, University of California, Santa Cruz.
And it's on a skateboard. It's fantastic, and it takes 4 people to operate. There you go. I think I nailed it.
You get 0 points. It is a bright neon green slug, adult-sized slug-looking thing wearing a UCSC basketball jersey. I just texted it to you guys.
Oh my gosh, it looks like an alien.
There you go. It does look like an alien. It has like antennas. Yeah.
Terrifying.
All right, Jamie, you're up. The University of Arkansas at Monticello weevils and cotton blossoms. They are the weevils.
Cameron, you sent me a picture. This mascot looks like a female golfer to me.
The mascot is the one standing next to the female golf athlete.
I thought that was unrelated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're stupid. All right, University of Arkansas at Monticello, weevils and cotton blossoms. Describe what the costumes are.
What is a weevil?
Well, that's what you're supposed to tell us.
Okay, so I think that the weevil, I think it's going to be a furry animal. So it's going to have some kind of fur. So that's what kind of animal it is. It's not an alien. It's like fur. And I think that it has a ginormous head that is red, and it has a big U of A W, whatever their letters are. That's what I think it is. I think it's furry. It's an animal and has a red head.
You get 0 points. It is green. It does have. Wow. It has a long nose, 2 antennas, and a weevil is some sort of like mite or like lice looking thing. Yeah. So there you go. Zero points all around. Derek, you're up. The Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers. Describe their mascot. This guy's actually kind of famous.
I know. That's why it's bad. Because I went to MTSU and they were our rivals.
Yeah,
so you know this.
That's what I'm saying.
I should. But you should. I'm gonna picture this guy as Hilltoppers. I'm gonna picture this guy as a please, no offense, but a white guy with no teeth, cowboy boots, a big old hat. And he has on He's on a horse.
Oh, man, you're going full Texas. I mean, you're going, okay.
Well, no, it's just Kentucky, and yeah.
All right.
He should have on overalls, I bet.
Jesse, can you just describe what I just sent y'all?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's basically a red Grimace. Like if you guys are familiar with Grimace from McDonald's, the purple.
Yeah,
you basically got the idea. It's the head's a little misshapen, but to be honest, I can't tell what the intended shape is
it's
in
a
this
hill.
costume.
It's a big blob like a hill.
Well, in that case, they nailed it. In that case, they nailed
it. He's the top of a hill, the round part at the top. All right. 0 points all around. Here we go. Round 2. Jesse, you're up. It is the Gray Harbor College Chokers. The Gray Harbor College Chokers. What does that mascot look like?
The Chokers?
What school makes their athletic mascot the Chokers?
I think it's just someone running around with both hands on their neck in sheer terror and panic.
Gosh, that sounds terrible.
They're just running up and down the sidelines looking for a Heimlich the whole time.
The point is to terrify the other team.
I guess so.
But your own team, you're saying like, go Chokers. Like, is it that like if your team is up late in the game, you expect them to lose? Like, why would you name your team the Chokers? Anyway,
dang,
all right.
That's crazy.
No, you get 0 points. It is a guy wearing overalls. It's a big like mascot wearing overalls and a hard hat for some reason.
Hold on, guys. Hold up. Time out. Cameron, listen, everybody at home, I need you to look this photo up.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
This is not a serial killer or a monster from a 90s low-budget horror film. I've never seen one in my life.
Those eyes are scary.
This mug is terrifying. This is what dreams are and nightmares are made of.
Also, he's wearing a shirt, a button-down shirt that's opened at the top, and he has chest hair. He has chest hair coming out.
Have you ever run across those like counterfeit like cartoons on YouTube? You know, that's like they're speaking with like a heavy Russian accent, and it's clearly you know, but they have like licensed characters that are, you know, like for some reason like Princess Peach and Spider-Man are hanging out talking Russian. Then this construction. I'm getting those vibes right now.
Bro, this is terrifying, bro. If I played for the other team, I for sure would be scared. I ain't gonna lie. Like if he pulled up in a white van, then that would just set it off.
And if you notice, he's wearing gloves for the choking. Yes. You know,
it's like Jeffrey Dahmer vibes over here.
For real.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. All right, Jamie, you're up. The Southern Illinois Salukis. What does their mascot look like?
I mean, at this rate, I'm going to pick like an alien or something because I don't even know what these things are. Okay, so I'm going to go Southern Illinois. Say the word one more time.
Salukis. Salukis. Salukis.
I'm going to say that this Saluki is, I'm going to go with this is blue. He's blue. He's got a big head and an antenna somewhere. That's what I'm going to go with.
Well, there's been a lot of those. No, the answer is it's a dog. It's a gray dog.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. Yeah, 0 points all around. Here we go. Derek, you're up.
This is how you know you're losing is because Cameron just says,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's how you know you're getting smoked. Like you're nowhere even close.
All right, Derek, you're up. The Washburn Ichabods. Washburn College Ichabods.
It's a headless horseman.
You're on the right track. You're actually on the right track.
Yeah,
but
it's a headless horseman. It's a pumpkin.
It is not. It is a full male with a top hat. It is a man with a bow tie and a top hat.
He also looks scary. Like that is just.
Why
he looks like, come here, little child.
Bro,
is what he looks
terrifying.
like.
There's something about the eyebrows on these that are really creeping me out.
They're menacing. Yeah. All right, Jesse, you'll get this one. This is random order, so I'm sorry for giving him the softball, y'all.
Yeah, please do.
Penn State University Nittany Lions. Describe their mascot costume.
I mean, it would stand to reason that it is some kind of big cat with a football jersey on. Final answer, please.
Well, you got the cat part correct, but he's just wearing a scarf. There's no jersey. He's a naked cat wearing a scarf. I'm going to give you 2 points for that because at least you got the species correct.
Yeah, and this looks like a very, very cheap costume.
You know what it looks like? The head. You know what the head looks like? Have you ever seen those Mickey mascots from like the 1930s? You know, like the homemade looking Mickey Mouse. That's what this Nittany lion head looks like to me.
Yeah, straight out of the Nightmare Zone.
This lion look like it smoked crack. That's what it look like. This for real. Like this
missing a bunch of teeth.
He's got two teeth.
Struggling. He's struggling.
Yeah, he's been out on the streets for a while. You know.
He likes waiting outside with Jesse.
Y'all
All
gotta
right.
do better, bro. Y'all gotta do better with these.
All right, Jamie, this is another big one. He got Penn State. We're going major school right now. University of Tennessee Volunteers. What's their mascot?
Oh, come on.
The Vols.
She's in Texas. She don't watch UT. She watches the other UT.
I watched the UT here
No,
with Longhorns.
right? You watch another one.
I think the Volunteers is like it's a man who is maybe going to dig gold or something.
It is a dog. It's a hound dog.
Gosh,
It's
I
a
knew
hound
that.
dog. Rocky Top 10.
I feel like it should be like a parking lot usher at a church, like volunteering.
Volunteer.
We're gonna put you on parking lot duty. If
He's
you
holding
do
a sign that says "Welcome home," and he's like, "Oh, welcome to church."
You're welcome
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You said it's supposed to be A. Betty with the big old hats and the white dress.
Yeah.
Hey,
Do you know how they
Betty.
got their name, the Volunteers?
I do not.
because they're all
We're
volunteer.
the
only.
volunteer state.
Because they came to Texas to help us with the Alamo.
Yeah, we're the volunteer state.
I think.
Oh, is that the whole
Yeah.
Davy Crockett thing?
Yeah, I think they were all from
Tennessee bought that smoke, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Tennessee.
For sure.
It feels like they probably showed up late though. Like if they had to travel, they're like, "Hey, we're here to defend the Alamo. We got
Yeah,
some
it's
bad news.
over.
We got a tough news for you, but you're welcome to stay. We'll name a college after you."
All right, Derek, we're going, Penn State, University of Tennessee, keeping that going this round. The McDaniel College Green Terror. What is their mascot?
Are you saying Derek should know this?
No, I was making a joke that this is
monster.
crazy.
It's a green monster.
Oh my gosh, 3 points. You nailed it. It is a
Wow.
green monster. He got it.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
And there's those eyebrows again, guys. Yep.
Menacing eyebrows. You got to have the pointed down eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last round. Here we go. Jesse, you got 2 points. Jamie has no points, and Derek has 3 points. It's anybody's game. Here we go. The Ole Miss Rebels. What is their mascot? This is a major school and a major conference.
Racism.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm pretty uncomfortable. Cameron, I got to be honest. I feel like you're setting me up. I feel very uncomfortable answering this question, and for that reason, I'm going to do the right thing here and pass and have you teach us a lesson.
Okay, Hey, I'm going to send the picture, and y'all tell me how this connects in any way, shape, or form to the state of Mississippi or Rebels. This is their mascot. It's a shark wearing a football uniform. Literal shark.
Because
Why?
they couldn't make it.
That cannot be.
Because the person
Can we-
designing
can we-
the mascot had the same reaction I did. You want me to do what? So sorry, what's the assignment? What'd you say? All right, I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna go shark here. Okay,
Dude, they only in the last few years took the rebel flag off their official school uniform and
Yes,
logo and stuff.
they put a shark on there.
Apparently, they replaced it with a shark.
Hey, by the way,
Where's
I
that
do
old
apologize.
man? You know the old man? With the,
Oh yeah,
with the
yeah.
cane.
The guy that looked like Colonel Sanders or something.
Yeah.
So they went from a Colonel Sanders racist to a shark because Mississippi. Nothing says the deep ocean to me like Mississippi. So.
I'm trying to stay out of trouble. So we're gonna leave
Yeah,
it
the
alone.
mascot designer's like, I'm just telling you, if you assign me this, I'm going to just do a shark. They're like,
Dog.
Mississippi's landlocked. You understand that? They have a
not
golf,
one
but there's not a big shark
anywhere
pond.
in Mississippi. It ain't even at an aquarium. It's not even a
He's like-
shark at an aquarium
he's like-
in Mississippi.
And
Right.
he's like, I understand the assignment. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. I feel like this is a trap. I feel like you're setting a trap for me.
I mean, if this is a Mississippi shark, he lives in brown water. If we learned anything from Jackson right now, anyway. Okay, here we go. Jamie, you're up. Another big school, the Purdue Boilermakers. What does their mascot look like?
I think it's a man. And so I think it's like a human type looking. And I think that he has on a cowboy hat.
You were so close. I'm going to give you 2 points. You just tied
thank
Jesse.
you.
It is a man, but he's wearing a gold hard hat.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. All right. Last one, Derek. Here we go. The University of Toledo Rockets. What's their mascot?
A rocket.
A rocket can't run around. I'm going to give you a redo on that one. It has legs, so it's not a rocket. It's not a rocket.
So a rocket with legs. I don't know, bro. The Rockets are, man, I don't know. And it's crazy because my mama live in Toledo. So I don't know, man. It's probably a monster. They love monsters with slanted eyebrows. So
it's a little spaceman with a little space outfit, like a little rocket guy.
Oh, well.
All right. So 2, and 3.
Cameron. Thank
Derek,
you.
you won anyway. You didn't even need the
job,
help.
Derek.
There you go. That is mystery
Well
mascot.
earned. Well earned.
There are a lot more. There, dude. Have y'all seen the University of Louisiana at Lafayette Raging Cajuns?
I have before, but I don't remember him. Send that Johnny again.
He kind of looks like a red Vanilla Ice to me. I don't know why I'm getting Vanilla Ice vibes from him, but he just has Vanilla Ice vibes.
I can
to me.
see it.
Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Jon Acuff for joining us. Make sure to check out the new issue of Relevant. It's available now. You can find it at relevantmagazine.com. And like we just told you, there's incredible features with MIA, NT Wright, the Rings of Powercast, and so much more. Sign up for Relevant Plus to get a beautifully designed enhanced edition, ad-free. It's available now. And you can check out the free version by clicking the magazine tab at relevantmagazine.com. It is presented by He Gets Us. Many thanks to them. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out all of our daily content. We're covering stuff at the intersection of faith, life, culture, and justice all day, every day. And if you aren't following us on all the socials, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You're going to see a lot more from us in the coming weeks and months. So make sure to follow us on all the socials. And also, while you're at the site, head over to the faith section and check out our weekday devotional series, Deeper Walk. It's presented by Lumo. There's a morning devotional email you can sign up for, or you can just check out that day's devotional in the faith section at the website. Many thanks to Lumo for that support. It is a great way to start your day. I love Deeper Walk. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Derek Miner.
We'll see y'all next time. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I'm going to throw to the spot, not to you. Just get there. All right? Hey!
Relevant Podcast Network.